Okay, part 4 of the med spa speedrun. We're going to wrap up with putting our widget on our website, and then we're also going to build a pipeline with automations. So when these users land on our website and then they show up into our CRM, how does the automation move them from new lead over to booking an appointment, over to closed in one in an automatic fashion? Let's go. So when you're finished building your widget and you're happy with this, go to the top right and say get code, and then just copy this code. This is the JavaScript that's going to represent this particular chat on our website. Go to our website. We'll have an HTML code here. And if you're not familiar with how to get this up here, it was +, and then search for code, and then drag this box over here. Once it's on your website, you just click on the box, go to the right, open code editor, and then paste your widget and save. Save, and then preview. And now we have our chat widget down here. And so anybody that lands on our website can now start chatting or messaging with our AI. Good. So now let's say somebody comes in and we have our one lead magnet here, which convinces them they need our timeless timeline guide. They fill this in. We want to keep them in our potential lead pipeline, getting them through the new lead phase all the way to hopefully paying us, and then put them on some other kind of campaign to get them to keep coming back. So let's set up our pipeline. Go inside GoHighLevel, go back to your sub account, which is MedSpa, and this time click on opportunities on the left side. Nice. Since we already use a template at the beginning, we already have stages over here. But if we wanted to edit these, we can click on pipelines, marketing pipeline, edit, and we can delete the ones we don't need. So I want new lead. I want contacted. So let's rename this one. Contacted would be like if we emailed them or we called, and then let's go to appointment scheduled. And then we probably have a closed one, meaning they came into their appointment and went ahead and paid us. And then we don't need these other ones for now. Okay, once you have those 4, hit save. Now these are our new stages. So imagine somebody comes to our website, they fill out that form to get the guide. We want them to show up in this stage right here because they're a new lead. So how do we do this? We go into our automation. Click on automation. This is our automation that we built last time that actually sends them an email. And you recall I had a tag that was created that gets assigned to the contact. Well, similarly, we can also assign them to a stage. So hit the action button right here under tag. Here's the one. So when you search for opportunity, this will come up, create update opportunity. There's also a beta version, which I like to test out because it's on the cutting edge. Let's live dangerously. Let's use this one. Update opportunity. Allow opportunity to move any previous stage in pipeline. Yes. So if people move to the right, let's say they book an appointment, but then they just disappeared, they can always come back and then become a new lead again. Add a field. So pipeline, in our marketing pipeline stage, and they're going to be new lead. Okay. And then save action. So now when they fill out that form on our website, they get tagged, then they get put into our new lead stage. Let's be a little bit more descriptive here. So not just update opportunity, but create opportunity in, there we go. And then we send emails. And then this is me waiting because I was the test user. The first email was sent. Now it's waiting 24 hours. And then it's going to send me a second email. So that's me right there. So go ahead and hit save. Okay, using this for reference again. Now, somebody would be a new lead. How did they go from new lead over to contacted? What we need to have is some kind of a trigger that says when we send them an email, maybe, that we can now qualify them as contacted, and then they would be pushed over here. So for this, we need to create a different workflow. And we're going to create different workflows for each stage. Rule of thumb is keep your workflows simple, just a few steps, because it makes it easier to troubleshoot. So let's go back. Let's create a workflow. Let's say start from scratch. We can test out the AI. Let's say once an email is sent to the lead, move the opportunity from new lead to contacted stage. Okay, let's see what it came up with. Email event, email sent to lead. Yes, but there has to be a trigger. Say event, and then let's say clicked, or opened would be, I think, a little better. Because if the email is not opened, that could mean the email is sitting in their junk folder or just bounced, so it was a bad email address. But once it's opened, then we can define that as they've been contacted. There's been contact. Save trigger. Okay, and once they open the email, what happens next? We update the opportunity stage to contacted. Yes, we can still allow opportunity to move back and forth. And specifically, we're updating the opportunity, going to the correct pipeline, which is the only one we have. And then the stage is going to be contacted, save action. We should also create a tag here, I think. So hit the plus sign and say add contact tag. Let's give them a saying lead contacted. Add new and save action. So now when we're looking at all of our users in our CRM, we can see which ones have been contacted already because they'll have a tag. There we go. We send them an email, we update them with the tag, and then we move them over to the contacted stage. Give this a name, great, and then publish and save. Now we can presume the user is over here, contacted, and now from here, we want that lead to book an appointment with us. And so once they book an appointment, however many emails it takes, they finally book an appointment, they would then get moved over to appointment scheduled. So let's go back. We're going to create a new workflow, create a workflow, start from scratch. I'll name this one first just to keep myself organized. Lead booked an appointment, move to appointment stage. And the trigger for this one is going to be customer booked an appointment. And where do they book an appointment? In the calendar that is called Med Spa Appointment Calendar. And save trigger. So once they book an appointment, we can update their tag. We can add the tag that is going to be lead created appointment. Hit save, and then we can move them over to the next stage, update opportunity, allow moving back and forth, add a field in this pipeline, marketing pipeline, and then the particular stage is appointment scheduled. Okay, scheduled. Let's call it that. And then save action. Here we go. Publish this and hit save. Now we've successfully moved the lead over to appointment scheduled. And then once they have a scheduled appointment, they're either going to come to their appointment and they pay us, or they're just going to cancel or reschedule their appointment. So we could probably just put a time delay in here. At some point, they would just move over to closed one, and then that would be a semi-manual process. All of your leads would end up here, and then maybe as a manager, you'd have to go through and see which ones actually paid. If not, move them back to contacted and let them run through the gauntlet again. So over here, what we can do is just hit the plus sign at the bottom and put in a wait. We'll just wait, let's say 2 days. I think that's probably fair. So we'll call it 48 hours. And then after 48 hours, we'll put them into the last stage. So add field, we'll go to pipeline, marketing pipeline, and pipeline stage is closed one. Now there's many variables that could occur here, and it would be subject to whatever the business wanted. Maybe they want additional stages in there. Maybe they just don't want to close in one stage, whatever the case is, but we have options. In the absence of options, at least you go with a plan and then you adjust based on contact. Okay, let's organize these a little bit. So let's go over here and say rename workflow, and would like some kind of a naming scheme. So let's say Med Spa 02 and 3. Okay, so now 1, 2, 3, and then we can put them all in their own folder. So create folder, say Med Spa lead pipeline progression, create, and we should be able to move all 3 of these, move over to the progression and move here. So now our workflows are nicely organized in one folder. Okay, clean slate, we're ready to test. Let's hit refresh here and we'll go. Now here's our website. Let's say we're just a user. Let's come over here, test new user. We'll say test last name, phone number, and submit. The first thing that should happen is we get an email. And sure enough, here's our email. Your anti-aging roadmap is inside. Open to download. This is the one that just came in. Okay, that looks good. Let's say I'm very interested. I click on Road to Your Roadmap, get a nice little guide. I'm really excited. I want to book an appointment, but maybe I got busy and I left for the day. I see there's a slight problem here with our first workflow. So it skipped this particular step. We need to go fix that. Internal action error, please use opportunity trigger, find opportunity action to get the opportunity. Let's go back to the builder. Instead of create opportunity, what we need to do is find opportunity. Add a field. Here we go. We can do tags. And then based on the tag, beautiful. Okay, so after find opportunity, we can say tag is lead from website. So back here, we assign it lead from website, and then we find that same opportunity based on the tag we just assigned. And then if it's found, it'll create the opportunity. If it's not found, then it'll just end. And then when it's found, it'll send an email and then continue on. And I'm still waiting over here. Okay, let's give that a test. Submit the form again. Okay, and now we have our contact in our pipeline. So from here, then another workflow would trigger sending them emails. Once they open the email, that would move over here. And then that would kick off another automation. And then from here, we would try to get them booked. And eventually when they clicked on their calendar and then booked an appointment, it would go here. And then after 2 days is currently what we have it set to. It'll just automatically go to closed. So we want new leads over here in this column populated like crazy. And there's a number of ways you can do this, where you just go to Outscraper and grab a bunch of folks that would want med spa stuff, or maybe they've respond to your marketing of some kind. Or in this particular case, they came to your website and filled out that form because they wanted the timeless timeline guide. So overall, this is turning out pretty good. Let me know how you want to advance this business. We could talk about lead generation, how we get more folks into the business, how we go find those leads online. We can go into AI and automation some more on how we can make outbound calls to those potential customers. Whatever the case is, come join me in the school community. I enjoy building this stuff, and then I just give it away for free. And if you use my affiliate link, then I'll coach and guide you as well to help you build your business. And that way you're successful within that 30-day trial period is the goal. Join us soon.
If you want to try your hand at doing this yourself instead of just watching, you can use my high-level affiliate link in the description below. If you use that, you get an extended 30-day high-level trial, hundreds of pre-built AI agents, access to my school community, 40+ business and marketing courses that I've built. You'll have all of my website template that you've seen me create. I'll even hop on a live Zoom call with you twice a week to help guide you and build your business with you. You'll have a direct line to me and also a chance to join my agency and run some of these businesses that I have, as well as take on my client. Hope to see you soon. Thank you.